Your home for picks, props, and futures for tonight's action. Bettor Sports Betting wants to know what picks you're playing tonight. Tell us in the live chat on YouTube, Twitter, and the Bettor Sports Network app. This is Bettor Sports Betting with Fantasy Alarm's Dan Servodidio.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome in here to the Bettor Sports Betting Show on Bettor Sports Network and Fantasy Alarm. YouTube's out there on a Wednesday afternoon. It's a football Wednesday with me and Howard Bender. We usually do this stuff on Fridays, but we got a full day of NFL bets to get to for Thanksgiving and the Black Friday game. So we got 4 games to give out picks for on this Wednesday show. What's up, Howard? You ready?
I think I'm ready. Oh, no, you know what? I'm not ready yet, Servo. Hang on one moment here, my friend.
Oh, I feel a bet being paid off. There it is.
So
looks like it's already been started.
It's half a pie. My wife said, "You're not taking that effing pie and eating the whole thing to pay off a bet before Thanksgiving." So I just took half of it right here, right? Which she's gonna be all pissed off at me about. But in honor of the of the Big Blue, go Giants, beating the Washington Commanders last week, I pay up and I will eat this blueberry pie for you, Servo.
Way to pay off the bet there. Love it.
I'll be working this thing over throughout the entire show, so let's get it on.
All right, yeah, we got a rig in Thanksgiving with some live pie eating on the show today. So, if you got any of your own bets or picks that you want to throw at us, hit us up in the chat here on YouTube, and we'll get to you guys as we come in. Let's just go game by game here. I will be giving out some college football bets a little bit later too, because got to get those in for Friday and Saturday's full slate of games too. All right, let's get to this Thanksgiving slate. Lions and Packers is the first game we got going to start off tomorrow's Thanksgiving slate here. 7.5 is the over is the spread there for the Lions in favor. 47 is the over under here. Any picks you got for this one that you want to throw out there? Maybe I can let you swallow first before you start talking.
For my game bet, because I always like to pick either the spread or the over-under. Sometimes, if it's like one Thursday night game, I'll do both. But for this, for the Thanksgiving Day slate, I figured let me just look at what I like the most for each of the games. And so for this one here, I'll start it off, man. The Lions minus 7.5. Lions are like 7-3 against the spread this season. Packers are 5-5 against the spread. I have a very sneaking suspicion that the Lions will go heavy on the ground with their thunder and lightning of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Yes, they'll take it to the air every so often here because it's Jared Goff at home who needs to redeem himself from last week. I just don't necessarily know if the Packers have the ability to stay with them in this entire game. I'll take the Lions minus the 7.5 points. This is a different Detroit team, Servo, and Thanksgiving is a huge, huge day for them.
I know they're used to being in this spot as underdogs.
Right? When was the last time the Lions were favored on Thanksgiving?
I did see a stat. I forget exactly what it was, but yeah, it's been a while. I think since they've been favored on Thanksgiving. So, now they're in a unique spot as the favorites here. 47 is the total here, and I'm going the over on this. I do think the Lions should win this game, but I think there's going to be a nice high-scoring game to kick off Thanksgiving in the early window here. And it's mostly because, as you mentioned, I think the Lions are going to have a lot of success on the ground. Packers' rush defense is one of the worst in the league. I think they're allowing the 4th or 5th most rushing yards per game this season, and that's a bad spot against the Lions team that, Montgomery and Gibbs are just going to be a lot of success on the ground for the Detroit in this game. On the other side, though, the Lions defense has, they're showing some cracks lately. Last week against the Bears, Justin Fields and the Bears started, they were putting it on this Lions defense before they kind of, took their foot off the gas, it seemed, in the second half there. Allowed 38 points to the Chargers the week before. That blowout loss to the Ravens a few weeks ago, like, against solid to above average offenses, they've been a little vulnerable at Detroit. And I think Green Bay is trending up. I think Jordan Love's getting a little bit more comfortable, in this offense with LaFleur. The last week they put up about 400 yards against the Chargers, put up about 400 total yards against the Steelers the week before. I think their offense is kind of trending up. So yeah, I'm taking the over just to kick off Thanksgiving. A little maybe 30 to 24 game.
Dude, I would love that, man. Like, wake us up here.
Or that wouldn't be a cover for you. So I'll give you the cover. How about a 35 to 24 game?
Okay,
I'll take that.
That's much better. Much better for me. I appreciate that.
A 2-score win for Detroit. On the same note, I got a pick here. Kind of back in the over here. Back in your Lions pick, David Montgomery rushing yards over 66.5. Packers, as I said, allowing the 5th most rushing yards per game this year, allowing about 71 per game to opposing lead backs too, are the Packers. And Montgomery, he had 121 against the Green Bay back in week 4. He's been over this line 66.5 in 6 of 7 games. And the only one that didn't come was when he got hurt and only had 6 carries in that game. But every other game this year, he's been over 66.5 rushing yards, averaging, almost 20 carries per game too this year in his healthy games. So yeah, give me the over on his rushing yards in this spot.
I like that. I like that a lot. I gave that out on the on RT Sports earlier today. There's a video out there that you guys can check that out for sure. I think I'm getting a little bit of a sugar buzz here, Servo. So if I start to speak really quickly here on the show, it's just because of that. I've been on a diet for so long that I haven't been eating any kind of refined sugar at all. So this is really starting to kick in right now. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it like I'm feeling a Jaden Reed touchdown. Now, anytime touchdown here for Jaden Reed, it's plus 175. Now, he is dealing with a concussion, which I do believe he should get clearance for. But he's also got a chest injury. So if Jaden Reed is good to go, throw him down there for an anytime touchdown. I like him in this one at plus 175 over at BetMGM. I also like, how about this one? Luke Musgrave, their tight end, is now officially on IR. He suffered a lacerated kidney in last week's game. Tucker Kraft. That's their tight end. He's Tucker Kraft. Kraft is in like the mac and cheese people.
Kraft singles.
Over 2.5 receptions for Tucker Kraft. It's minus 155 over at BetMGM. It's something that you can like tuck into a parlay. But I really like this kid a lot, and I'm telling you, I think that he sees at least a handful of targets. Musgrave was seeing some targets. The play works. Jordan Love is looking for that tight end. So over 2.5 receptions. Salud.
You're hoping for more than one Kraft single here. You're looking for 3 Kraft singles here.
I'm looking for diabetes right now is what I'm looking for.
Just to let you know, you can stop at any point. You've paid off the bet. You've eaten
Does
some
this
pie
pay off
here.
The bet, Servo? I told you I need a pie.
You don't have to eat the entire half of that pie.
I appreciate that. Is it bothering you? Should I not eat?
No, I'm to save yourself. If you feel like you're laboring through it, I don't want you to be uncomfortable.
Listen, man,
right
if
now.
something's gonna kill me, at least let it be a blueberry pie. It's absolutely delicious. It's quite tasty, and yeah, I mean, whatever. Just lop off my foot, give me the diabetes, and put me in an early grave. I'm okay with that, Servo.
We got Nino Pena on the YouTube chat here saying he likes Gibbs rushing plus receiving yards in this game. I'm pulling that up right now just to see what the number is at.
It seemed a little high for me. I thought I saw it somewhere like 81.5 or something ridiculous like that.
77.5 on BetMGM is his combined rushing and receiving. It still seems a little high for me too. I like the Montgomery prop here with his rushing, but I think there's a reason I didn't go for Gibbs instead of Montgomery. Like I like the rushing part for Montgomery. I could see Gibbs getting this more with his receiving than with his rushing. the two of them in the backfield. Still got to see just kind of how it shakes out every game to game, and just a little riskier betting on Gibbs props at this point, I think. So yeah, that's Packers Lions to kick off with. Yeah, I love the little picture we got there on the screen, the little Thanksgiving meal there. How about the second game we got for Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon? Commanders, the team that's making you eat this pie right now, Howard. The Commanders playing the Cowboys. 12.5 is the spread for the Cowboys.
Is it 12.5 now?
Home. It's gone up.
It
was like 11.5. Then it went up to 12. Now it's 12.5. So 48.5 is the over under. Yeah, BetMGM, I'm seeing 12.5. That's the current current total, current spread.
I love it.
There.
Give me that 12.5 points then, man. I'm going back to the well on the Commanders. I'm gonna say that, you know what, little garbage time at the end. Sam Howell just throws the ball incessantly, right? Dude throws the ball like 40 times a game. On average, it's more than 40 pass attempts per game. At some point, Dallas will take their foot off the gas. I've also spoken to some Dallas people who do think that here on the short week, it might be a little closer than most people think. So I'm going to take those Commanders, and I'm going to take those 12.5 points. Thank you so much.
I like this. I'm not making a pick on the game, but I would go this way, if anything, because I don't know the exact stat, but the Cowboys on Thanksgiving are terrible against the spread. I think over the past 12 years or something, I think they're 1-11 against the spread.
That's almost as good as this pie right now, Servo.
So that's right in line with you. Yeah, I mean, listen, divisional matchup on a Thursday night for Thanksgiving. I think that's too many points for the Cowboys to cover. Obviously, they are the better team, but I just, the Commanders should keep this one close. My pick for this, I'm going with a prop. Dak Prescott, over 24.5 passing completions. I think you like his yards, and I like his completions in this one. I see, he's been over this one, 24.5 completions in 7 of the last 10 games, 7 of 10 games this season. So it's just a little too low for me. 4 straight, he's gone over this as well. Washington allowing the 3rd most passing yards per game this year. I realize, Cowboys and Prescott could be throwing downfield a little bit and getting some longer completions than really dink and dunk short yardage. But I still think, I think the Commanders should keep this close enough that the Cowboys are going to have to keep passing, throughout into the 4th quarter. So that's just leading me to Dak's props here. I looked at his yards too that you got, but I'm going with his completions.
I like his completions. I'll take the 278.5 passing yards. I'll take the over on that. And then I'll back it up on the Commanders side here also and just take the over on Sam Howell's pass attempts. It's at 39.5. He's averaging over 40, right? Just over 40. So give me Sam Howell slinging the rock against the Cowboys, getting a couple of extra passes in there. He does it, 42, 43 pass attempts for Sam Howell, 44. It's minus 110 on BetMGM. So, I think it just kind of piles on for the narrative.
Yeah, I like this one too because I don't see the Commanders playing from ahead in this game. So it's either they're trailing and throwing more, or it's gonna be like basically a tight game either way. A 1-score game either way. They're not gonna be playing ahead by double digits in the 4th quarter where they're not throwing it. So yeah, that helps Howell in multiple kind of game flows for the Commanders here. By the way, tomorrow we have no Bettor Sports Betting show with it being Thanksgiving. Watch these games, enjoy these bets that we're throwing out here. But I hope not.
No, I'm supposed to be in the Bettor cast all day tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Well, on that note, we got the Scott Fishbowl Thanksgiving Bettorcast Classic coming up on the Bettorcast app tomorrow. So you can compete in our free contest by making pregame picks for all 3 Thanksgiving Day NFL games. Right now, make those pregame picks and you win tickets for NFL gear and signed collectibles. Help us raise money for Fantasy Cares. We'll donate $1 for every entry into this Scott Fishbowl Thanksgiving Classic. Don't miss on the special Bettorcast Thanksgiving night for 49ers Seahawks with our own Howard Bender live in the Bettorcast app, the Bendercast, for this Thanksgiving game tonight on Thanksgiving night. You can get in the game by downloading the free Bettorcast app in the Apple app and Google Play stores. Tonight's Bettorcast, by the way, is Bucks Celtics, so you can answer pregame questions right now in the Bettorcast app. But tomorrow, you're going to see Howard on the Bettorcast eating maybe some more pie.
I will
maybe
definitely not be eating more pie.
Oh, the pie is going to be finished by then?
Pie be done. I'll actually be in the Bettorcast throughout the entire day. All right, I'm going to be there. Scott Fish is going to be there. We're going to do some game breakdowns, talk some Thanksgiving food. We're going to have fun throughout the entire day. So, join us and do it that way. The important thing to remember is it is downloading the Bettorcast app is free, 100% free. Doesn't cost a thing. So when you think about it, we're going to take $1 for every download that we get, and we're going to donate that to Fantasy Cares. So, if you're going to pay 99 cents for an app, right, that does, I don't even know what, like does a filter on your camera or something like that, whatever the case may be, you're not paying anything for this. And then what you're doing is, but by downloading it, you're having us pay $1 to Fantasy Cares for every single one like that. I say you put Fantasy Alarm out of business, spread the word, make us pay $1. Like, I want hundreds of thousands of downloads for this one here on Thanksgiving, and yeah, make that happen there. There's the QR code down there. I've also got it pinned to my my profile over on Twitter. So at RotoBuzzGuy, you can find it over there and jump in. We're going to have a blast tomorrow. We're going to have an absolute blast if I'm not dead from eating all this pie.
Hopefully you're not dead. By the way, tomorrow also with tonight too, but just tomorrow in general with it, no Bettor Sports Betting show. Go over to fantasyalarm.com throughout the day to get any of your betting advice, any of your DFS advice for all these games, and also for the weekend for college football and for NFL. We got you guys covered at Fantasy Alarm. Fantasy Alarm All Pro subscription, if you haven't already, fantasyalarm.com/let's go is the offer there. You get one-on-one expert access to the Discord. You get all the fantasy football tools that we got going, but also for every sport, whether you're playing the NFL DFS slate tomorrow, you're making those lineup choices for tomorrow's games or for the weekend. College football for sure. I know with college football DFS, you got to get in the Discord to get all these late injury news that we got, players opting out of games at this point, players, being ruled out at the last minute. So it's huge for all this injury news, but also just for everything, for cashing. I know college basketball, DFS, me and Pete Cole have been letting people win left and right. Yeah, we're killing it in college basketball. So check all this out. Fantasy Alarm All Pro subscription.
Oh, one thing to add on that. All of our NFL DFS stuff for the Thanksgiving Day slate, free. 100% free. Ooh. I just posted a DFS playbook. We've got coaching articles for each position. All of our content for the Thanksgiving Day slate is 100% free. So go check it out. Use that. Even go check out like the DFS watch list that I posted for Sunday's slate, because you can read all of that right now, and then we're gonna put the paywall back up, but hopefully you'll make a little bit of money playing on Thanksgiving, and you'll just be able to get yourself this all pro subscription. FantasyAlarm.com/let's go. Promo code let's go, 50% off your first month.
Heck yeah. All right, how about the Thanksgiving night game? We got 49ers Seahawks. Nice little another division battle here. 7-point spread for the 49ers. 44 is the over-under on BetMGM. A little pie there for dessert as Howard's eating his pie right now for lunch. Howard, where are you going with this one? Let you catch your breath.
No, that's all right. Listen, I like the Niners in this game. I'm not a fan of the Seahawks. You also have Geno Smith with a bum elbow. They could end up having to turn to Drew Lock in this game again as well against this San Francisco defense. So I mean, I'm going to take San Francisco -7. If you want to, buy it down for to 6.5, I don't see anything wrong with that. It helps, kind of, cushion the blow in case it is a closer than expected game. But man, give me the Niners -7, man. I just don't believe in Seattle's offense right now. Geno Smith or Drew Lock.
Yeah, I'm on the under in this one. I do think the 49ers should win this one. But I'm on the under in this. Under 44 on BetMGM. Thanksgiving night unders 11-5 since 2005 and 7-1 in the past 8 Thanksgiving night games. So this it's it's a Thursday night football game basically, right? And this we've seen these games be low scoring over the years, and especially this year. And it's been true on Thanksgiving night. And as you mentioned, though, this is more of fading the Seahawks offense that banged up Geno Smith, and he wasn't playing that well beforehand to begin with. Kenneth Walker now out for the Seahawks too, so they're relying more on Charbonnet more. He was kind of better as the change of pace. Got in there for a little burst and physical run or two with Walker taking the load, but I feel like it's going to be tough for the Seahawks now having to trust him with a full workload, especially with their, uncertain quarterback situation. If they gotta roll Drew Lock out there. And then the short week too, I think with the 49ers offense, with so many of their, injuries already this season, I just feel like they're going to be they know they should win this game, and they will win this game. They're just going to try to get out with a win. I feel like it's going to be one of those things where they let their defense handle, the flow of it, really handle their field possession, get some easy scores, but then really take their foot off the gas and just, stay healthy through, to get through this game. So last year we saw Seahawks 49ers, both games, 34 points scored in both, exactly 34 in both. So it was a game, 49ers defense controlled it in both instances, won both, held the Seahawks offense down. I see something similar here, especially with the trend of unders in these Thanksgiving night games.
I could dig that. I do like, though, I'll tell you what, Deebo Samuel. I've got the over on Deebo Samuel's, rushing and receiving yards. 61.5. It's -115 on BetMGM. I think Devin Witherspoon is going to pay a lot of attention to Brandon Ayuk. I think that Jamal Adams, their safety, going to pay a bunch of attention to George Kittle. And that's going to leave like Trey Brown or somebody to handle Deebo Samuel across the middle, not to mention the rushing work that he does get as well. So I actually think that Deebo is going to kind of shine a little bit in this one for the 49ers offense. So give me the over on 61.5 rushing plus receiving yards.
Yeah, listen, and I could see a lot of those coming rushing, being rushing yards for him in this game because it's just how they like to do it. So, all right. So that's for some 49ers Seahawks tonight. All right. Black Friday, though. We got one more game here to touch on. Black Friday afternoon is
Do we
Jets.
have to?
We got it. We got to touch on it here. Jets Dolphins. Oh man, the picture on the screen there. Jets fans, insert head. Yeah, pretty much. If that was flipped upside down, you put a couple eye holes in there. That's the Jets fans.
No. Sever our heads and just stick them in a shopping bag. Shout out to Adam Bernard, our producer, on that one.
Oh, that's good. That is golden. All right, how about Jets Dolphins here? We got Miami now a 10-point favorite. It's gone up now that the Jets have benched Wilson this week. We got Boyle in at quarterback for the New York. He's finished the pie, ladies and gentlemen. That was about 20 minutes. You just downed half a pie. I give you credit, man.
I gotta, listen, man. I gotta pay off that bet. Gotta make sure it happens. If I couldn't give you a whole pie, at least let me finish off the half one in a reasonable amount of time.
I give you credit, man. If I would have lost the bet, I don't think I would have eaten a full half a pie on the air. Probably would just gone the slice route because I'm a little wimp, but whatever.
I'm
All
a
right.
gluttonous pig. What am I going to do?
All right. Jets Dolphins here. I'm going. I got a prop for this one to start out. Give me Raheem Mostert over 58.5 rushing yards for this. Jets defense, the rush defense, allowing the third most rushing yards per game this season. I've been targeting this matchup for opposing running backs for most of the year because their secondary is legit. It's elite with Gardner and Reed, shutting things down. But teams are running on them, and they have to because of their lack of success through the air. I see, I still think the Dolphins will have some success through the air, but I do think they're going to respect, Gardner and Reed kind of, mostly keeping Hill and Waddle in check. And I think they're going to lean on the ground game because they know they can have success here. Mostert, 60-plus rushing yards in 6 of his last 9 games. I think this line is just a little too low. Devon Achane returned last week, but also exited early again with his knee injury. So I think on a short week with the Miami as, big favorites here, I doubt Achane gets much carries, gets much run in this game. And I think Mostert should be in line for a big day with a lot of his, dominating the workload in that backfield. Last year against the Jets, by the way, he had 113 and 71 rushing yards in the 2 matchups as the Dolphins running back there. So I think he's going to do it again here, over 58.5.
I'm fine with that. I got lots of Raheem Mostert in fantasy. I use him in DFS often. So I'm a big fan. Jets Dolphins, give me the under 41. I'm going to hope that it's just 31-3 instead of 38-3, but that's kind of the way I see this game going. Tim Boyle under center. Servo, you handle our college football stuff there. Tim Boyle at UConn, what was it? 1 touchdown to 13 interceptions. Those are Tim Boyle's collegiate numbers. So I have no interest whatsoever in the Jets at all. I think Miami just smokes them on Black Friday. Like I said, I'll take the under and just hope that it goes to like 31-3. If it goes to 38-3, then I'll just, I'll take my push and I'll feel mildly lucky about that. So that's where I'm at on that game. I'd rather go to like Walmart with like brass knuckles on at like 4:00 in the morning and just hang out there than I do want to watch this Jet game.
To give Tim Boyle some credit, yes, 1-13 touchdown interception ratio at UConn. He did then go to Eastern Kentucky and had an 11-13 touchdown interception ratio. So yeah, I'm just trying to give Timmy some credit here because
he doesn't deserve any credit. How is this dude an NFL quarterback right now? Who is it on the Jets who actually thinks that this is a good idea? Like, I get it. Zach Wilson wasn't working, but it's Nathaniel Hackett. So you throw a tomato can like Tim Boyle in there under center with Trevor Siemian backing him up, just flush the Jets down the toilet, man. They are turds in green costumes.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. And yeah, I think the Dolphins are just going to be like, all right, we got a 10-point lead. We got a 14-point lead. Let's just run the ball, get out of here with a win. So that's my feeling with the Mostert play. All right. Well, that's some Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Again, head over to fantasyalarm.com. Check out all of our content there for all this Thanksgiving slate. And the entire Week 12 slate if you're getting ready for Sunday's games too. Let's do some college. What's that?
He's ready for a nap. Ready to take a snoozy.
He's ready for a nap. All right, listen, I'll let you take a back seat. I'm gonna give out some college football picks. Okay,
I got some Red Bull to wash it all down here, Servo.
Get going. Because we got games on Friday, we got games Saturday, we got a Thanksgiving night game, Mississippi State. So some awesome college football all weekend long and all Friday and all Saturday. So Got to start out, though, with my Servo 7 pick because we've been doing it all year long. The college football totals competition on Bettor Edge. You can compete against me in this Servo 7 competition. You make the most correct picks in the free competition. You get paid out. Enter by signing up on Bettor Edge at bettoredge.com/better. Use promo code BETTOR, BETTOR, to get $20 when you sign up and verify. No deposit required. And only one more week left after this week to win this contest and do this Servo 7. So, jump on it now. For week 13, my Bettor Edge pick this week, I'm taking the over in Texas A&M and LSU. Listen, LSU, if people aren't aware, they're trying to get Jaden Daniels, their quarterback, the Heisman, and they are padding his stats every week. They are leaving him in games when they're leading. It happened last week against Georgia State. They're just leaving him in there to, whether it's running for touchdowns, whether it's throwing for long touchdowns, they're letting Jaden Daniels just pad his stats. And it's been happening for a few weeks now once it realized, like, all right, LSU is kind of out of the college football playoff and SEC title picture. They're just letting him just run up the scores offensively, and it's been leading to overs in pretty much all of LSU's games. Last week against Georgia State, LSU's game did not hit the over, but every single one of their games before last week went over their total. They're 10-1 to the over this year. So I'm taking the over here now that they're back playing an SEC team in Texas A&M who doesn't have like the best offense, Their defense is decent too, but I don't think they're going to slow down LSU. But their offense is good enough to take advantage of an LSU defense that's terrible. They've been bad all season long, and it's been allowing average offenses to score a bunch on them, which is helping their games just always be high scoring. LSU averaging FBS best, the best point per game average in the country this year, 46.8 points per game. But in conference play against SEC teams, they're also allowing 33 points per game. So their games are continually seeing 70, 80, 90 points scored. And I'm taking the over here, 66.5. Texas A&M, by the way, 4-2 to the over in their last 6 conference games. So making me feel good about just another high-scoring LSU game because it's been going that way all year long.
Right on, baby. Right on.
So that's the Servo 7. I got 3 more picks to throw out to the people here. Nebraska against Iowa. Iowa is the better team here. All right, they're ranked. They're heading to the Big Ten title game next week, going to face the winner of Ohio State, Michigan. They are the better team, clearly. But if you look at the spread, Nebraska is favored here. Nebraska is at home, and they are favored by 2.5 on the spread. I'm just taking the money line, Nebraska money line, because there's a reason that they are favored here. Vegas thinks and believes that they're going to win because of the situation. Iowa just last week clinched their division to clinch a spot in the Big Ten title game. And this is just a letdown spot for them, classic, because they have nothing to play for this week. They're not going to make the college football playoff. They are completely getting ready and basically watching Ohio State, Michigan to figure out who they're going to play. They want people to be healthy for next week. I just don't see them being too motivated at all to win this week. Nebraska, on the other hand, 5-6. They need one more win to become bowl eligible. And I think it's a huge deal for them because their head coach, Matt Rule, remember Matt Rule, Howard? Panthers former head coach.
I do remember Matt Rule.
He's now at Nebraska, and his thing is, I think he really wants to be, have a bowl team in his first year at Nebraska to really, have that program take a step forward after they were terrible last year. I think it's something that he really wants to have on his mantle, like his first season at Nebraska. He got the team to a bowl. Next year, he's going to look to have the team actually be contenders in the Big Ten possibly. So, but this year, he needs this win against Iowa to get that team to bowl berth. And I think they're going to be motivated to do it. They're on a 3-game losing streak on Nebraska, but I think this is a good bounce back spot for them at home, again, against an Iowa team that has nothing to play for unless they a rivalry, I guess, Iowa, Nebraska, but still, they don't have much to play for here. So give me Nebraska on the money line.
All right,
And then
I dig it, man. Go Huskers.
Go Huskers. All right, the big game this weekend, I just touched on it. Ohio State, Michigan. I'm taking Ohio State plus the 3.5 here. Listen, both undefeated coming in, both really good defenses, both obviously just been kind of crushing their competition. Michigan, though, comes in a little shaky. They got past Penn State a couple weeks ago, but last week they honestly were playing Maryland way too close last week, and there was a point there I thought Maryland might actually pull it off. They ultimately didn't, but Michigan just kind of coming in, just not really flowing well. Ohio State, by the way, meanwhile, has been just kind of crushing their last few opponents, and I think their offense is really rolling coming into this one, and their defense, defense on both sides elite. The big thing here, though, is that I see Ohio State with just significantly better difference makers and playmakers than Michigan. I like, the fact that they have Marvin Harrison Jr., Emeka Egbuka, Travion Henderson, multiple guys that can, break off a long touchdown, make a true difference, especially Marvin Harrison is the best wide receiver in college football. Michigan just lacks that. Outside of their running back, Blake Corum, they lack any guys on the outside to make plays and make huge plays in this game for it to matter. I feel like this is going to be the difference maker because everything else, there's a lot of things that are even on both sides. But I think Ohio State having those true difference makers on the offensive side pushed me to them here. And I see Ohio State getting 3.5 points. I know this game's at Michigan. It's a road game for Ohio State. But I looked at this in this rivalry. The past 9 meetings, 7 of the last 9 have been underdogs covering the spread. And some of them have been the underdogs winning outright. But the underdogs have been covering in this series, Ohio State, Michigan. It's been Michigan as the underdogs in the last couple and winning outright and beating Ohio State. Now it's Ohio State's turn. I think they're gonna serve Michigan a little side of what they've been dealing with. And the pressure's on Ohio State here because they lost these last 2 games, last 2 matchups against Michigan. I think the pressure's on them to get this one and retake this rivalry, get back to the college football playoff. So, yeah, give me the Buckeyes here plus the 3.5. I think it's gonna be a really good game though, either way.
All right. Okay.
All right, and my last one, real quick. Washington State, another rivalry game against Washington. Too many points here. Plus 16.5. Give me those points as the underdog. Just for a rivalry game in general, this is too many. But this is the biggest spread in a Washington versus Washington State game since 2013. And Washington State covered as double-digit underdogs in that game back 10 years ago. And I think this is a case again where it's just too many points. I know Washington, obviously, they have one of the Heisman front runners, Michael Penix, and they're really good offense, but their defense is still a very big worry. I've been waiting for them to cost them at some point. Don't think they're going to lose outright to Washington State here, but it's prevented them from covering a lot of spreads when they've been favored this year, and it's almost cost them a couple of wins. They're still undefeated, but they've just kind of been surviving. Last week against Oregon State, they survived, but easily could have lost that game outright. And this is a tough spot here against, a rival in Washington State who they have a quarterback in Cam Ward and an offense that can explode and take advantage of just kind of honestly a below average defense that Washington has. And this is huge because next week we're going to have the Pac-12 title game, Washington and Oregon. And that's basically the Super Bowl for Washington. And they need to win that, obviously, to make it into the college football playoff. They're getting ready for that one. I feel like they could in the second half, if they have, a 3-score lead or whatever on Washington State, they're gonna be taking out some starters. They're gonna be taking it a light because they're already looking to next week. They don't want guys to get hurt. So I think Washington State gonna play to the end and really make Washington earn this one. By the way, the Huskies, Washington 1-5 against the spread in their past 6 games as favorites, which is just huge to me because I see Washington State coming in here, not going to back down from the better opponent. They were double-digit underdogs once already this year, and they covered against Oregon. So that trend has me liking the Cougars from Washington State a little bit more. So yeah, give me the Washington State on the plus 16.5.
I love Cougars, baby. I do. Although I guess at my age right now, a Cougar would probably be like the elderly, so maybe not.
By the way, Friday, we got obviously a whole day of games. I'll have a college football DFS playbook up on Fantasy Alarm, so you can check that out. Same thing for Saturday's slate. We got all day games, and me and Pete Cole both have playbooks up for those. So stay tuned for all that good stuff on Fantasy Alarm. Howard, thank you for eating your half a pie there.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you having me here, and I appreciate you letting me pay up on this bet.
I can't tell if you're ready to just end this show immediately. And
I'm ready to vomit right now.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Right, a little binge and purge sort of a thing here. My diet has made me now become potentially anorexic along with hypoglycemic here.
Violet, you're turning violet. All right, appreciate everyone tuning in here on a Wednesday. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy the games tomorrow. Enjoy your bets, and we'll see you guys later. Good luck.
Bettor Sports Betting,